Good afternoon, merry YouTubers. We're off camping. We'll get there a lot quicker if we never get by this grain truck. We're not going far. That's just the first weekend of the season. Weather's promising, although we've got a few black clouds at the minute. So we're off to a place called Wardley Hill campsite, which is near Bungay in Suffolk. Went there last year, and it's quite a decent little site. I'll do a little video when we're there, show you around the place. It's a little eco style site. No facilities really, aside from an open air shower and some composting toilets. But the pictures are nice. You can have a campfire, which isn't allowed on a lot of the main campsites these days. Praise the Lord, although I don't believe in him. Yeah, so it's a little eco site, spaced out, grass pictures. There's a couple of camper van pictures, and they've got something called Too Posh to Pitch, where they provide for people who want to get away from it all but don't want to take a tent. So they've got, I think they've got a couple of bell tents, and last year they had a what they call a hammock hut and a shepherd's hut, and I think they're in the process of converting an old yacht or something. But it's just quite a nice little place out the way. Oh, and there's also spots in the, they've got woods around the site, and you can pitch in there if you want, or set up a hammock tent, things like that. It's just a nice little getaway really. So I'm off there for the weekend, bike's all packed up, and I'm going to combine it tomorrow with a trip to the Honda dealer at Harleston in Norfolk, and I'm going to take out an Africa Twin, all being well. I have to say, I've got no intention of buying one at the minute. But aside from it being something to do during the day tomorrow, it'll give me a good idea of what it's like in comparison to the Explorer. It's certainly a bike I'd consider buying in the future, if I like it enough. So we'll have to see what tomorrow brings. First job is to, once you get the site, we'll get pitched and set up and everything, and then I'll do a little video later on, maybe when I've had a little shandy or three and got a fire going. And I'll try and do this video that I'm going to do today follows on to a load of episodes from the Yorkshire trip that I did last September with my mate Pete. And as I've put on those videos, it was all filmed on a little SJ4000 with the audio was separate voice recorder, so I've had to try and edit it and match up the audio and the video. Some of it I've been successful, some of it slightly out. I think one of them I chopped the end off where I was talking. It's a little bit hit and miss, I apologise for that. but I'll not be doing it with that camera again. I'm going to stick with the Senna now, just for short clips and stuff. And the good thing is I'll be able to mash these clips together. Hopefully I'll get the hang of that Filmora editing suite that I've got. It's not too hard to use, but for some reason at the minute I can't add more than one transition. I had one transition at the start from the titles, and then if I try and add more during the video editing itself, it just overlays the original transition. So I've got to figure out how to add more of those little transitions to blend different clips a little bit more seamlessly. But we'll get there. And when I put this lot on, I'll put it on in obviously in separate clips, but in one episode we'll shorten it down to about 15-20 minutes or something. I might do a separate one for the Africa Twin test ride. We'll see how long I do on there and how much film I get, really. Anyway, that's it for now. Little introduction to the weekend. I'll do some more footage as we go along. Hopefully we're going to stay fairly dry. Hopefully I'll be able to blow my camp bed up and not have to sleep on the earth. Otherwise I'll be needing more booze. Catch you later. Hello again. But now I've got the camp set up, so I thought I'd do a little bit of footage, but forgot that I'd have to do it with my lid on. So luckily there's not a lot of people here at the minute, so I don't look like too much of a twonk. Well, I probably do, but there's not many people here to see me. So anyway, here we are. There's some woods off down there where you can do some, I said earlier, you can do some wild style camping if you like, put up a hammock and stuff. That little shelter's a work in progress. Car park, composting loos, and an open air shower, would you believe? Cold water, that'd be bracing. Got me fire ready, or my wood ready anyway, for a bit later. The little tent. Had my first brew. Got some beers for later. That's the boat that apparently they're going to be converting into accommodation at some point. Again, I think it's a work in progress. There's normally some bell tents the other side of there, but for some reason he's taken them down. I think there's just to the other side of where I'm looking now, there's a couple arrived after me in a tent, and there's a couple of lads down the bottom putting theirs up. That little shed down there is a hammock hut. So you got a little, I think there's a little log burner in it, I'm not sure. There's certainly a sofa, and then some hammocks obviously to sleep in. For the people who are too posh to pitch. So there it is, Wardley Hill campsite. It's near Kirby Cairn in Bungay in Suffolk, just into Suffolk. So I haven't come far today. Might have to do a walk around with the bike while I'm at it. I was on about it the other day. I've got these bark buster handguards on now because the old alloy braces underneath them. Spot lamps, which are Rigid Industries dualies. They've got these quite neat little amber lenses that clip on and off. And these SW Motec Dakar Bags Connection Dakar, they are throw over panniers essentially, but you can see down there there's a frame, and they just clip in and out of the frame, and the frame's not to hold them on. See it better down here. This little clip in here locates, but it's really flimsy, so they're held on actually by the strap. And then I've just added some rock straps underneath to keep them in place. A nice view of my number plate, aren't you? Who cares? Come and get it if you want. There you go. That's it. What else did you want? I'm walking around a campsite with a bloody crash helmet on. I think it's time for a beer. What have I got? Let's have a look. Oh, King Goblin. Look at that. It's going to be a bit warm, but I don't care. I'll not when I've had some anyway. It's about time to get a fire going. 4:45. I might do another video later when it's darker. Oh, I might not. But there you go. That's it. Camp set up. Ready for a few beers. Get some burgers on. And once I get this fire going, I've got a little grill I'm going to put over the top of here and just do some burgers and sausages. Rather than cook me stew tonight, I'll have that tomorrow. So if I don't do another one tonight, I'll pick up tomorrow when I head off to Lings at Harleston and take that Africa Twin out for a ride. I'll catch the all later. See they. Evening all, YouTubers. I hope you might be able to see a bit of a silhouette there of the bike. It's dark, it's dark. There's my tent there. And fire. Oh. It's a beautiful night. There's some geese. A nice moon, nice sky. Some woods. In there where it's black. There's probably Blair Witch living in there or something. Yeah, it's pretty dark, you can't see much. Never mind there. I've had some beer, I've had some burgers, I've had some sausages. I dropped one in the fire. It's a disaster. The fire claimed one of my chili sausages, but never mind. That's a quick one. Before I turn in for the night. It's only about 8 o'clock, but we are still just in March till tomorrow, so we ain't proper got light nights yet, not proper ones. You can't quite see the moon properly on this, but it looks decent, looks tidy. The main thing is my feet are warm. See you in the morning. Night night. Afternoon. It's just going to be a short one this. I'm on my way home now from the campsite. And I thought I'd do a little bit of a summary for the weekend, and in particular the test ride in Africa Twin. We were 2 nights at Wardley Hill campsite. It's been cracking again. I'm looking forward to getting in now, because I chickened out of using their freezing cold shower, so I'm in desperate need of a proper one. So I'm looking forward to getting in, but I've had a cracking weekend. Gorgeous weather. Not a spot of rain, so that's good. And a test ride on the Africa Twin. And really I want to just add a few thoughts having slept on it, because it was only a 50-minute or so test ride, and it's difficult to get a real full picture in that amount of time. So, you know, I waxed lyrical about it yesterday, and still stand by that really. It's a bloody good bike. Honda really have done a cracking job on it, and that DCT really surprised me. I went out on it thinking it's going to put me off, and the reason, as I said yesterday, the reason I took the DCT was because I know what a manual bike ride's like. So the two Africa Twin models, the DCT and the manual, they're not going to be that far apart except for the transmission. I know the DCT adds a little bit of weight, but you're not going to notice it that much on a test ride on country roads. So I took it thinking I ain't going to like this. Well, Mr. Honda, you knocked the stuffing out of that thought, didn't you? Because I do like it. It's a cracking system. I don't know what it's like long term, if people are having problems with it, anything like that, or if there's increased servicing costs or reduced servicing intervals. I haven't really looked into it that far yet. But as a system to use on the road, it's near faultless. Really smooth. You put it in drive mode, really smooth. You can barely feel the gear changes. The manual mode is superb. Again, really smooth changes using the little paddles on your left handlebar. Sports mode, to be honest, in my short test ride, I didn't really feel like there was a need for it. It's not very well indicating, but you're not going round them, are you? Here we go, look, Lycra. The state of it. Oh dear me. Get out of the way. Let's not get on a rant. What do they call them? Mammals, innit? Middle-aged men in Lycra or something. I don't know if they were men or not. Couldn't really tell. Anyway, back to the Africa Twin. Yeah, the DCT is really good. I was really impressed with that. I'd have a DCT bike, no issues. Again, long term, who knows, I might get fed up of it, because I do like having full control on a manual bike. But as a system, to just take the system as it is, it's pretty bloody good. Not a lot to complain about. Yeah, as I was saying, the sports mode held on to the gears a little bit, probably a little bit too long. I know it's supposed to hold them a little bit longer, but perhaps a little bit too long in some of the gears. But that's the only criticism I had yesterday. Rest of the bike, superb, nice and tall, cracking riding position, comfy. Again, it wasn't a long distance trip, so you can't fully judge the comfort, but it felt, put it this way, when I got back on this bike, the seat on this bike at the minute is in the lower setting, and I've done that not because it's the most comfortable one I'm sat on it, but because it's easier for me when I'm pushing the bike around or trying to paddle it back and forwards when I'm sat on it. But when I got back on this, the seating position felt slightly more cramped than the Honda Africa Twin did. I felt like I got a bit more leg room on that, so that was good. Complete lack of buffeting at sort of cruising speeds from what I could tell. It pulled really well. The engine sounds nice even with a standard pipe. It'll sound even better with an end can. Gripes, extras, oh my fucking god. The cheeky buggers at Honda charge you for a centre stand, which, alright, I'd pay for one of them because I think they're useful. But I asked about engine bars, and they can do them as well, and they look alright, to be fair. They're about 300 quid, so probably a bit more, well, quite a lot more expensive than the Heed ones that I've put on this. But I suppose when you take into account they're full top to bottom, as far as I could see, if you're then taking the price my Heed upper bars and the Triumph lower ones, probably about the same. And I asked about fog lights. Holy shit, over 700 quid apparently. 700 quid for a set of fog lights. I only paid 145 quid for these rigid industry dualies that I've got on here, and I'd probably pit these against most others. Whee! So yeah, I'll not be buying Honda's fog lights if I do get the bike. 700 quid, dear me. They'll make me a cup of tea for that money. Yorkshire tea, obviously. I didn't ask about the tyres. The tyres felt alright to me yesterday, but it was dry. I've heard a lot of criticism of them Dunlops, the standard Dunlops in the wet, so... But I might see if I can put my own choice on there if I was to buy it. Prior to buying it, that is. So yeah, so after all that, well, I'm not buying one yet anyway. Would I have one? Yes. Yes. The only question for me would be what colour, because I like the matte black one. The red one looks nice, but I do like the matte black. But you can't get away from the fact that the HRC white, blue and red colours are just the dog's bollocks. They look cool as. So I'd probably go with the crowd and get one of them. But am I going to get one? No. No, as I keep saying, no, not yet. I want to evaluate what I need, really. I know that I want something lighter than this. I love the bike, I love the Explorer, but I am really struggling now at low speeds. We're not so much low speeds at pushing the thing around. It's just so heavy, and my back is knackered. I can't get away from that fact. So God, I do love this engine though. When I come back through Harleston earlier, it's low speed, it's a 20 limit, but second gear rolling on and off, and the noise just thunders off the buildings. Bloody lovely. So yeah, I need to evaluate what I'm going to get, whether it's going to be the Africa Twin. I want to test ride that new KTM 1090, and perhaps a Tiger 800, you know. You don't hear many bad reviews about them, and if it's quite a bit lighter than this, then who knows? Because I do like the triple. It's a good engine. Certainly not as all-rounder off-road orientated as the Africa Twin or perhaps the KTM, but it's still a good bike, and being realistic, most of my riding is going to be on the road anyway. So do I need an Africa Twin? No. Do I want one? Yeah. Probably leave it there. It's a good bike. I'd want to test ride it again. It's not long enough, 50 minutes, but it's a good bike. I'll really like it. There's tons more reviews out there, way better produced and way more in depth than mine. Go on, there's nothing coming. Dear me, another mammal. So it's just my thoughts, basically, my initial thoughts on them after a short test ride. And a cracking weekend camping. Hooray! Let's hope the rest of the summer's got more like this in store. I'll be a happy, happy bunny. We'll go this way. So there it is, BarnsleyBob's first camping trip of 2017, and fucking hell. You're not watching? What a bell end. Some people, sorry I had to round the video off with that. Oh dear, it's Sunday morning, bless them, they can't help it. Anyway, here's as good a time as any to switch you off, and we'll get this on the tube. Hopefully I can edit it properly. So BarnsleyBob signing off. Good morning, good afternoon, happy Sundays, happy springtime. Sithy. Catch you later.